us all. Please welcome to the field, Officer Brad Burns from the class of 1992, a member of the Metro Bomb Squad. K-9 Unit Officer Steve Coleman from the class of 1987. Lieutenant Mike Gilliland, a member of the SWAT team. Sergeant David Windus, a member of the class of 1983. We also salute officers from the Metro Police Department who are spread across the field and campus tonight, helping to make your experience special. Sergeant Jeff Biggerstaff, Detective Chris Brennan from the class of 1992, Sergeant Ralph Griggers, Sergeant David Humes, Officer Jimmy Jordan from the class of 1987, Lieutenant Steve Lewis, Detective Chris Locke, Officer Ron Swanson, retired from CSI after 30 years, Sergeant James Warren, and Officer Neil Wolf from the class of 1996. And we invite you to give a special welcome to the 2015 Metro Patrol Officer of the Year, whose cool, quick, and brave response last fall in the face of an active shooter at the Antioch Hickory 8 Theater enabled SWAT officers to bring the attacker to justice, and whose leadership and response saved many Nashvillians' lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Officer Chase Frith of the class of 2004. We'd like to extend a special salute to all of these officers and all first responders in our community for their service and for keeping our great city safe. A heartfelt thank you to every one of you. Congratulations.
Good evening from the campus of Father Ryan High School. The Irish playing host to the Pope John Paul II Knights. Thanks everybody for joining us this lovely Friday evening. Lou Pickney and Austin Wright with you on the call. And Austin for Father Ryan, a chance 1 week after a tough loss at McCallie to get their first Division II AA win of the season against the rival JP2 Knights.
Yeah, Lou, we're looking for a good game tonight, and we are seeing a big crowd tonight, and we are hoping that we can put some pressure on the JP2 quarterback, and we want to make sure that everything goes well tonight and get a win for this home crowd.
See the captains for both teams making their way to the 50-yard line on their respective sidelines. JP2 and Father Ryan are both 2-1 on the season, 0-1 in Division II AA play. For JP2, they beat Memphis Melrose in Memphis 28-22. They won a big win over Coffee County Central 54-30. And then last week, Brentwood Academy, way too much for them, 41-14 the final on that one. And so it's a Father Ryan team coming in here having beaten Hillwood. And then Clarksville Northeast, the game that was delayed at halftime due to lightning, started back on a Saturday. They got 5 minutes of actual game time in. More lightning, more delay. But all's well that ends well. Father Ryan got the victory there to go 2-0 in the season before dropping their game in Chattanooga against McCallie last week. It looks like the referees are going to midfield. Momentarily here we will have the coin toss. It'll be interesting to see if JP2 wins the toss, will they take the ball to start with? Last week against Brentwood Academy, I did my homework on this. The Brentwood Academy got the ball to open the game, drove down the field, got a touchdown. That set the tone for the entire game. It was almost like before JP2 could blink, it was 14-0 and then 21-0.
Please turn your attention to the north end zone.
Father Ryan, this team's will be your left. You have the band, which will finally, hopefully, get a chance to provide its halftime entertainment. They worked so hard and then didn't have a chance to play here halftime of that the Clarksville Northeast game. So they're getting ready over there while at midfield the captains are in their respective positions. So we look to see who's going to get the ball to start this game. At stake, the Bishop's Cup, a traveling trophy. This is the 12th meeting between these two schools. Father Ryan has won 9 of the previous 11. They lost the very first one in 2005 to that Golden Tate-led JP2 team. And then also 2012, they lost, Father Ryan that has lost JP2 here at the G by 4. And so as they go through the instructions at midfield, still waiting to see who's going to get the coin toss and how the game's going to begin. And Austin, you mentioned the quarterback for JP2, Ben Brooks. Very, very talented player. Got a strong arm, very accurate. This is going to be like the Hillwood game or the Clarksville Northeast game where they had good athletes, but not much as far as passing accuracy. This is
That's correct. It's going to be all up to the defensive line here for the Irish. I mean, you can tell that the quarterback for JP2 is going to have to have some pressure against him if we're going to do well, and so we'll have to see how we come out, because I know Coach Rector is going to want to get the hurry-up offense to go down and score real quick, and we'll just have to see what Coach Rector comes up with for the plan for tonight.
So Father Ryan wins the coin toss and defers, so JP2 will receive the ball to begin this game. It's a warm one here in Nashville. It was up to 91, maybe 92 degrees earlier. Double check here on my phone with the weather. At last check, it was 87 degrees. It may be a little bit less than that now, but even if you're talking mid-80s, it's a warm one. 85 degrees will be your temperature for kickoff time. As you see the band making its way onto the field. JP2 is in the far corner of that left end zone, whereas Father Ryan by the goalpost, ready to bust through that Father Ryan sign and take to the field here momentarily. And there are the Knights of Pope John Paul II High School over on the far sidelines. Some of their fans made their way down from Hendersonville, the north side of Nashville. One player I noticed for JP2, here come the Irish. We'll get to that point in a second here. Father Ryan fired up on the near sidelines. Excited to take on the Knights, ready to get things going. One of the most exciting things, I know when I was a member of the team way back when, was coming out there that opening time. You have the band playing, the fans are excited. Of course, those are the old days playing at Vanderbilt for home games, or out in Bellevue or parts unknown, wherever we could. Much different now with this beautiful stadium here on campus. And I can tell you this turf's a lot more comfortable than the old days at Vandy when you had, it felt like a Brillo pad stretched over concrete. It wasn't fun to land on it. And so the band out on the field, entertaining the crowd here as we get ready for kickoff momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to your feet for tonight's opening prayer, delivered by faith leader Annabelle Blake from the class of 2017. Annabelle was one of only 3 in her class inducted into the St. Vincent de Paul Service Society and is a participant on Alternative Spring Break and Catholic Heart Work Camp. She also serves as student leader for campus ministry, sacristan, and liturgical ministry student coordinator, room in the inn volunteer, manager for the volleyball team, and wrestling cheerleader.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Loving God, thank you for bringing us together as a community of faith rooted in your love. We ask that your Holy Spirit come upon us and fill us with gratitude for this celebration of Catholic education and the shared ideals of these 2 schools gathered tonight in athletic competition. Keep these athletes and coaches focused and safe from all harm, that they might use their gifts to glorify you. And we thank you especially tonight for first responders, for all those who risk their lives to serve others. May we always strive to follow their example of service, that we might be a living example of the gospel in all that we do. We ask these things with confidence and hope, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Would everyone please remain standing and remove your hats for the national anthem, performed tonight by members of the Father Ryan Singers Show Choir: Samantha Oliphant, Maggie Rogers, Blake Sloda, Jenna Oots, Charlie Martyr, Sarah Rushdie, Connor Bosselman, and Serenity Ogadegby.
Beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner as the band makes its way to the left side of the field, clearing way. Father Ryan's kickoff team prepared to take to the field. JP2's return team will be out there momentarily as well. One injury note that I was starting to make before we were interrupted. Injury for JP2 last week, Drew Bledsoe, and yes, that is his real name, spelled the same as the former NFL quarterback. Really good outside linebacker, had what looked to be a hand or wrist injury. Left the game, didn't come back, but I saw him out warming up for JP2, so he should be there tonight for the Knights. And we'll make notes on both of these teams and the schemes that they use. It's going to be interesting to note JP2 stays with what I saw on video against Brentwood Academy. There's not a lot of their stuff online. I was surprised as far as from a game prep standpoint, but everything I saw showed them on offense operating from a shotgun formation. That's become more and more popular.
Back for JP2, number 14, CJ Laws, and 22, Jelon Cambridge.
Laws on the return. It was interesting last week. He made a kickoff return from the 1 yard line. Would have been wise, in my estimation, for him to let it go into the end zone, then slip to the 14, bring it back out. So if the ball goes deep to Laws on the near side, we'll see what decision he makes. So Anthony Hagee with the ball teed up at the 40, and this game is about to be underway. Some nice leg into that kickoff, spinning, be fielded at the 10-yard line to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, can't make a tackle, to the 30, to the 40, nearing midfield. Hagee on the chase. Hagee can't catch him, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. A dive just brings him down. What an effort right there on that tackle. Wyatt Rector saved what looked like would have been a touchdown on a very long return by Jalen Cambridge, the 5'10", 162-pound sophomore for JP2.
It's going to be 1st and goal for JP2.
So not the way Father Ryan wanted to start this game at all, as the Knights take the ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, JP2, and Father Ryan's goal line defense being tested here early. And it is out of the shotgun. Quarterback Ben Brooks, the accurate senior, with a running back behind him. He's going to hand it off. Dive forward, did not get there. Jamal Thompson, 5'10", 175-pound senior running back, unable to make it to the end zone. Good job of that Father Ryan defense, 2nd down.
A loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and goal from the 3.
No score just underway here on Father Ryan's campus, the Irish playing host to Pope John Paul II High School. 2nd and goal from the 3. 1 receiver to either side. Jumbo set. But a shotgun formation as Brooks is going to hand it off again. No doing. No, sir. Not on that play. Nice stop by that Father Ryan defense. Good pressure right there. Vernon Ernst the 3rd. And Ernst got in there. Stopped him for a 1-yard loss. And so now, Austin, we're looking at 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Could be an early defensive stand here for this Father Ryan D.
Correct, Lou. We'll have to see what JP2 comes out with, see if they want to go with the rush again with Jalen Cambridge and, oh my bad, I'm sorry, Jamal Thompson for the run. We'll see it going out of the shotgun.
3 wide receivers. It's a handoff. Gets near the goal line and brought down. And it looks like it may have been a turnover based on the Father Ryan reaction. They're going to say, wait on an official signal. It looks like he was down. So down before the ball came out. But a good job of the defense stopping at the 3-yard line, maybe the 2.
Just inside the 2-yard line, 4th and goal.
Now, I couldn't catch a number on who made that stop. Multiple players swarming in there for that Father Ryan D. JP2 lines up to go for it. 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. Just under 10 minutes to go in the game. No score. For those of you just joining us, Father Ryan kicked the ball off, and JP2 took it all the way back down inside the Father Ryan 5. And now the Knights are going to take a timeout. We'll keep it here for a moment. 9:54 to go, first quarter. And I've got to think, Austin, if Father Ryan can stop JP2 on this 4th down play, it'd be some nice momentum to start the game, and a nice reversal from what happened with JP2 in that opening kickoff.
You'll also get rosters for all the teams and all our football opponents for this fall. The program is only $5.
Last week against Brentwood Academy, just wasn't much as far as a rushing attack went.
No longer with us in person.
For JP2, just could not get the running game going. Hope obviously for the Irish is that Father Ryan can stuff the run if that's in fact what the approach is here. You might see a pass or a run pass option. Brooks is athletic. He can run with the ball. That's not his tendency. An accurate passer. So here we go. 4th and goal. Ball at the 2-yard line. Brooks in the shotgun. 1 receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side. Jamal Thompson behind him as a single running back. Put a man in motion to the near side. A little bit of a high snap, and it's a handoff, spun around, and into the end zone. Touchdown, JP2, Jamal Thompson. And the Knights are the first ones to strike tonight.
For a JP2 touchdown.
So that makes it 6-0, JP2 over Father Ryan with the extra point pending. So the defense, for 3 of those downs, managed to keep the Knights out, but it's very difficult When you give a team that many opportunities, 4 shots from inside your own 5, that can be a tall order. And some confusion now as a player runs on late for JP2. They have not started the play clock, and now they're going to send it back out. That would have been 12 guys on the field. And there's the snap, a good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 9:45 to go in the first quarter, it's JP2 7, Father Ryan 0.
And their families to campus.
So it's 7-0 JP2 leading Father Ryan. 9:45 to go first quarter. Lou Pickney, Austin Wright with you on the call tonight. As now Father Ryan prepares to receive the kickoff for the first time in this game. Not the kind of start the Irish wanted with that long kick return. But perhaps they can repay the favor here as JP2 lines up to kick the ball off from their own 40-yard line on the near side. Nicholas Zenger, their kicker. 5'8", 160 pounds. But from what I saw on video last week with them against Brentwood Academy, he does have a decent leg. And he gets it away. Spinning end over end, and it will bounce over and into the end zone in the near quarter for a touchback. So Father Ryan will start its first offensive drive of this game from its own 20-yard line.
First and 10 from the 20.
One thing you'll notice from the Knights on defense, as the officials have a discussion, they're trying to spot the ball. It's spotted at the 20. This isn't college or pro where they move to the 25. Spot the ball at the 20. The defense, as I was alluding to, they run a 4-3 set with 4 down linemen. It's rather unusual to see that anymore on the high school level. 3-4 tends to be the preferred set for many teams, but JP2 primarily going with 4 down linemen. Player to watch in that defense is number 32, the near side linebacker, Drew Bledsoe. Father Ryan starts 3 wide receivers. Shubik, quarterback, out of the shotgun. He'll take the snap. There's Jackson Bird. Bird makes a cut. Not much there. Jackson Bird has phenomenal field vision, makes some good cuts, but not much real estate there. But he manages to move ahead for 2 yards. Second and 8.
Zach Scott, gain of 2, second and 8.
So it's JP2 leading 7-0, 9 minutes, 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. Substitution for the Irish as Jay Linton makes his way into the game. Patrick Beacom takes a breather over here on the sidelines. Father Ryan spreading it out once again. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. A shotgun for Shoup. And he'll be looking to pass. Looking to the near side. Goes to his progressions. He's going to run with it now. He's slippery. He's slick. And he gets it down to the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. Close. Not quite to the first down yardage he needed, but close on a nice scramble right there from the quarterback spot.
It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
So Beacom back into the game for the Irish. So it's 3rd and 2. 8.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. JP2 leading 7-0. So it's a shotgun play, 3rd and 2. Some confusion by JP2. They got defenders running to get into position. And it's going to be a handoff to Bird to the near side. Can he get to the corner? Not much of an edge. And there's Bledsoe. I mentioned him for a reason. That guy can make some tackles. Able to hunt Bird down right there. Looks like no gain on the play.
Brought down by number 87, Jack Shoemaker.
One would presume a punting situation for the Irish. Now notice Father Ryan getting in position quickly. This may be a tactic to get JP2 to jump, or at the very least to keep them unaware. JP2 didn't run a lot of hurry up last week from what I saw, so they may be challenged by that. Snap is good. He gets a booming punt down to the 40-yard line. It is fielded right to the near side, and a good tackle at the 43-yard line. Nice play right there. Wyatt Rector on the stop. And so a good punt, a good stop. And JP2's second offensive possession of this game, from Father Ryan's standpoint, starting from a much better spot at JP2's own 43-yard line. One of the keys in this game is going to be getting pressure to Brooks, the quarterback. At front seven for Father Ryan, plays a very aggressive style. Puts a lot of pressure on your defensive backs to make sure you're in position. Also for players to be disciplined to stay in their gaps and not jump. So 4 wide receivers on 1st and 10. 3 to the far side. Pressure comes, passes away. It's caught at the Father Ryan 45-yard line, down to the 40. Before he's finally wrestled it down. Ball comes out, but only after the play.
Ben Brooks' pass completes at number 4, Jamal
But that's enough
Thompson.
for a first
Moves
down.
the ball into Father Ryan territory.
Austin Crow in there.
Line. It's a 1st and 10.
On the stop. So JP2 making things happen through the air. As we approach the 7.5-minute mark of this first quarter, with the Knights up 7-0 on the Irish. Out of the shotgun once again. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Brooks with a running back behind him. Father Ryan's going to bring 7 guys in. They're going to throw it to the outside. Complete, not much room. Stays on his feet, works his way backwards, running the wrong way. Managing to elude tackler's flag down, almost for sure a block in the back. And then a very nice tackle, Jackson Bird, making things happen on both sides of the ball.
Brought down in the backfield by number 22, Jackson Bird.
Now,
there's a penalty marker.
If that
down.
penalty is for a block in the back, it would be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and you would replay first down. Would you take that, or would you take the 6-yard loss that would also include a loss of down? And they're going to take that 6-yard loss with a loss of down, declining the penalty. So it's going to be 2nd and 16 for the Knights from the Father Ryan 46-yard line.
16.
And as this drive keeps going along, it is interesting to see how Father Ryan is adjusting to the JP2 attack, especially from the last drive.
Something that McCauley took advantage of with Father Ryan last. There were passes out into the flats to the near the edge of the field on either side. JP2 got on that last play before that penalty. 3 receivers on this play. It's a little screen. They love their screen plays. Some confusion. Slippery slips another tackle to the 35, down to the 32, 31-yard line, close to a first down. So Thompson managing to make his way through that Father Ryan defense.
Thompson is just slicing up the Father Ryan defense.
Ball spot at the 31-yard line. It's going to be 31.
And you notice when he gets that ball outside the tackle box, Father Ryan running between the tackles against them has been some tough sledding for teams this season. So now 3rd and short. Let's call it 3rd and 1. Ball at the Father Ryan 31-yard line. JP2 leads 7-0 as we approach 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Man in motion to the far side. Joins the 2 receivers out there. It's going to be a pitch play. It's going to be enough for a first down as he grinds his way down to the 26-yard line. Jamal Thompson once again on the carry. And that'll be enough for a nice first down.
Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. It's enough for a JP2 first down.
So the Irish having some challenges trying to stop the run. A player with that kind of shiftiness like Thompson has can be difficult to stop. Another 3 receiver look from JP2 on this 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Brooks is going to send his blocker to the near side. It's going to be a quick pass to the outside, complete at the 25. Spun around, kept his balance, and finally wrestled to the turf by Jack Boutte.
Jalen Cambridge on the catch, and no gain there, but it seems still JP2's having their way with the Father Ryan defense right now.
2nd and 9.
Although in that particular play, that was a good job by Father Ryan on a play that got outside the tackle box, outside the hash marks, and trying to minimize the damage caused there. Saw in that opening kickoff what Cambridge could do. He is a dangerous player. 2nd down and 9, 5 minutes to go first quarter. Pope John Paul II 7, Father Ryan 0. As the play clock reaches 6, shotgun snap to Brooks. He's going to throw it to the near side, complete at the 25, cutting it back to the 20. Finally being brought down by a couple of Irish defenders in there, including like Niles Gaddy in there. So Father Ryan
Pass complete to number 14, CJ
stopping them from getting a first down, but the Knights are looking at a 3rd and maybe a long 2.
It's gonna
critical
be
down here
3rd
for the
and 2.
Irish, and hopefully they can find a way to stop the Knights for this drive and put their potent offense off the field.
Chase Petty is number 34 for the Knights. He's the big guy in there, 6'2", 243. That's a shotgun look with 3 wide receivers. Said it's going to be a handoff. Manages to slide off of 2 tackles. And finally, Father Ryan able to bring him down, but not before reaching the first down yardage necessary. Jamal Thompson once again.
JP2 first down.
So for the second time in this game, JP2 with the ball into the red zone of the Irish. Looking at 1st and 10 from the Father Ryan 13-yard line. Less than 4 minutes to go first quarter. JP2 leads 7-0. Brooks in the shotgun. 1 receiver to the near side, 2 to the far. They run this shotgun look almost exclusively. He's going to fake the handoff, roll to the near side, looking for somebody, looking to throw it into the end zone. It's a high throw that goes incomplete. Intended receiver on that play, C.J. Laws.
Ben Brooks pass intended for number 14, C.J.
You know,
Laws.
they list Laws at 5'8", 130. I don't think that's accurate.
Incomplete.
Maybe not the high, but he's not a 130-pounder out there. Now, they've got some tall receivers on this team. Don't get me wrong. We got a guy at 6'3", another at 6'1", but not their tallest target on that one. But anyway, a slice that's incomplete, 2nd and 10. The Bishop's Cup is on the line. Father Ryan's only lost to JP2 twice in 11 previous meetings. There's a jet sweep to the far side. Father Ryan's got it sniffed out. Good stop right there. Looks like Anthony Wright might have been able to make that play. If I can read those numbers correctly from here. Or maybe it's Sage Warren.
Brought down by number 13, Sage
And as we
Warren.
are coming up on the 3rd down here, the Irish are trying to extend the streak that they already have for the Bishop's Cup, trying to make it into 5 in a row for the Irish.
Last time Father Ryan lost to this Knights team was 2012, and it was here at the G. So I'm hoping not to have history repeat as far as that goes. 3rd and 11. Ball at the 13-yard line. Now the shotgun. Brooks going to face some pressure. Rolls to the near side, trying to buy time. Chased, throws it, and caught for a touchdown. Beautiful for them. I got to give them credit. Beautiful touch on that pass. Complete
Well
to
done,
Jalen
Cambridge.
Yeah, Cambridge.
For a JP2 touchdown.
The 5'10 senior making the catch. And with an extra point pending, that makes it 13-0 Knights. So not the start Father Ryan wanted at all here in this game. You'll recall last year Father Ryan trailed early on at JP2, came back to win, and they'll take another rally if they're going to get a victory in this one. A little bit of a high snap, gets it down.
The
Extra point is up,
attempt is up
and it
good.
sails through the uprights.
2:53
Nicholas Zanger
remaining in the first
hitting that
quarter.
one. So with 2:53 to go in the first
14,
quarter,
Father Ryan 0.
it is JP2 14, Father Ryan 0.
Don't miss.
.253 to go in the first quarter. John Paul II leading Father Ryan 14-0. Those of you just joining us, the game did not open the way of the Irish at all. Long kickoff taken all the way back down inside the Father Ryan 5, down to the 3. Father Ryan's defense held firm on 3 plays, but on 4th and goal, JP2 got a touchdown. Father Ryan enforced a punt to the Knights. The Knights went down and got a second score. So now the pressure is on this Father Ryan offense to make something happen, unless the special teams can do something here with this kickoff.
Yep, critical drive coming up for the Irish, and not only for them, but also for the crowd to get them back in it and get them excited for what's coming.
And it's a packed house here. Fans, you can see it across the field as well for JP2 as a kick. It's a squib almost type kick, but it makes it all the way down inside the 10. Muffed for a moment and picked up, brought back on the near side, and forced out of bounds close to the 25-yard line. Like William Riley on the
Number
return.
39, William Riley.
So Riley makes something out of nothing there after what looked like it could have been a disastrous play.
Runs the ball to the
Going to put the Irish with 1st and 10 at their own
24-yard line.
They say the 24-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10, Father Ryan.
Talking earlier about the temperature how it got above 90 degrees earlier. Temperature is dropping, but it's still in the mid-80s. Doesn't matter as much now, but in that second half, it's that risk of guys cramping up. Father Ryan, 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near on this 1st and 10. Shotgun to Shoop. He's going to make a quick pass to Warren. Bobbles it. Incomplete. I like the look of that play. Sage Warren in the flat. He could have done something with it, but unable to haul it in. And so they make it 2nd and 10.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
The challenge for Father Ryan's receivers last week at McCall. He had a couple of incompletions on 3rd down that could have been caught potentially. Also a challenge for this Father Ryan offense to establish the running game. Of course, you got to pass it as well. You got to mix it up. But that was one thing. If you want to find a difference between the first 2 games and then that 3rd game against McCauley, it was the ability to get large yards per carry. This did not happen against McCauley like it did in the first 2 games. 2nd and 10. 4 wide receivers for the Irish, 2 on either side, but Shoop's going to keep it himself, take a hard hit, and then finally make it to the 25. So hard-nosed play will gain maybe a yard there for the Irish on what is now a 3rd and 9.
Caught down by number 32, Drew Bledsoe. Gain of 1, 3rd and 9.
And the announcers call Bledsoe's name again, that linebacker. So 2:15 to go in the first quarter. JP2 leading 14-0. Father Ryan looking at 3rd and 9 from its own 25-yard line. They're going to go 4 wide receivers. Trips to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side, with a running back to the left of Shoop. He'll take that shotgun look. Stays in the pocket. Now he's got to run with it. He's going to scramble to the 30. He's going to get to the 34. Can he get there? Trying to keep his balance. So close. Maybe a yard short.
To be about a yard away from the first.
He needed to reach the 34, and it looked like they got him at the 33. Now Father Ryan's going to go quick here. They get JP2 off guard, force them to make a timeout, opportunity to get a 1st down. The hard count by Shoop. JP2 isn't buying. 18 seconds on the game clock. And this is 4th down, 4th and short. Hard count once again, nobody moves. 10 seconds on the play clock. And that's going to be a timeout, Father Ryan. So good effort by the Irish to try and get JP2 to jump off sides, but it was unsuccessful.
Timeout, Father Ryan.
And so rather than go back 5 yards,
Irish
opt to use their first timeout of the game. So 1:19 to go here in the first quarter. Pope John Paul II High School leading Father Ryan 14-0, and the Irish looking at a likely punting scenario here.
Barbecue contest, open to everyone in the Father Ryan community. The event will take place at the side field on Friday, September 16th.
Last year's game, Father Ryan won 30-22, but it was not easy for the Irish in that one.
Judges, including Rudy Kalis of WSMV and TitansOnline.com's Jim Wyatt 84.
So you see the special teams unit for Father Ryan on the near sideline talking over whatever strategy they're going to use here on this 4th and short. Down by 14, the ball in their own territory. You would think a punt would be the most likely course of action here, particularly after a timeout, but you never know.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Rector puts out there on the field.
Because it's, we're saying 4th and 1, but it's like 4th and a half yard. Of course, the risk is if you don't get it, that gives JP2 the ball in very good field position with a 2-possession lead. And they're sending the offense back out there. Father Ryan setting up as if they're going to go for it here. 4th and 1. Ball thrown 33-yard line. They trail 14-0. They need to reach the 34-yard line. Now Shoop's going to go up under center. Is it going to be a sneak? It'll be a sneak. From where the referee's spotting, it looks like a 1st down. The referee standing at the 35-yard line. He only had to reach the 34. And that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
So great job by Jay Shoop there with the far reach for the 1st down.
Shoop is
hard fought.
Yes, it was hard fought. That's for sure. The Knights knew that the sneak was a possibility there, especially after normally functioning out of the shotgun going under center for the first time for either team tonight. So now back to the shotgun with 3 receivers, 2 to the near side for the Irish. A minute to go here in the first quarter. Father Ryan down by 14. Receiver in motion to the far side. It's going to be a handoff to Elton Quimby. Quimby finds a hole. Did he lose the ball? No, he held on to the ball. Brought down at the 43-yard line. The way I saw a couple of the JP2 players looking, I thought maybe the ball was loose. No, they were just looking where he was standing because he moved by that quickly. So Quimby, the change of pace in there, and the senior gets 8 yards on his first carry of the game. Irish back to the line quickly. Again, going with this multiple wide receiver look. 2 to the far side, 1 to the near. That changes with the man in motion to the near side. Another handoff to Quimby. He sees a hole, slices through. It's a first down to midfield to the 50, to the 46-yard line. First down, Father Ryan.
Carry number 21, Elton Quimby. All the way into JP2.
Great runs there by Elton Quimby. Good job for him to help get the Father Ryan run game going and put the JP2 defense on edge right now.
I think that's a critical point for this Father Ryan offense, is having a solid commitment to the run, which they are clearly showing, and also making that work. Also gives their defense a chance to get a breather while putting more pressure on this JP2 defense. So 1st and 10, Father Ryan, ball at the JP2 46. As we approach the end of the first quarter, this likely to be the last play of the first quarter. Out of the shotgun, it's a handoff to Bird. Bird's going to go down to the 40, to the 35, spun around, but not before he gets a first down at the 35-yard line. The clock reads 0-0, so they're going to go around after a quick break and go the other direction to try and get a score. So after one, your score, Pope John Paul II, 14, Father Ryan, 0.
Practically all of South Louisiana into an inland lake. Pontchartrain 4 times, flooding about 140,000 households and rivaling the scope of devastation wrought by Superstorm Sandy. Neighborhoods, homes, and businesses flooded that were well out of the floodplain, and the inundation exceeded a 1,000-year flood level. More than 30,000 people were rescued.
So we reached the beginning of the second quarter. Father Ryan trailing 14-0. Lou Pickney and Austin Wright with you on the call. This beautiful Father Ryan campus playing host to this game. The Bishop's Cup on the line. And the Irish finally getting things going on offense, Austin, there toward the end of that first quarter.
That's correct. Elton Quimby with 2 great runs, getting the Father Ryan offense up to the 45-yard line now. Or, excuse me, 35 now.
So now there's
now it seems as though Coach Rector and the referees are having a little discussion.
Well, Coach Rector pointed at the scoreboard. I won't presume to guess what he is saying, but clearly there's something he wants to have ironed out along those lines. But you're right, it was Quimby getting a couple of long runs there, Austin, toward the end of the first quarter. Then Jackson Bird with an emphatic first down run. That sets us up now with what we've got. 1st and 10, Father Ryan, ball at the JP2 35-yard line. The Knights lead the Irish 14-0. Out of the shotgun, man in motion to the far side. And Shoop's going to hand it off to Jackson Bird. Bird gets to the outside, makes a cut, and makes it maybe to the 32, 31-yard line. 3 or 4 yard gain right there for the Irish. So Father Ryan showing that solid commitment to the run as Bird comes to the sideline, spelled by Elton Quimby. And also going to send Mitchell Bray over. Glad to see him back in there. No, he had injury issue before with his collarbone, but it appears that he's good to go. Important thing for this Father Ryan offense. So 2nd and 8, they're going to say. Ball at the 33-yard line after they finally get it spotted. Irish need to get to the perhaps 26-yard line. This is going to be a trick play. A jet sweep, fakes the throw, going to cut it back to the near side, nowhere to go. JP2 defenders around, and nice play idea there for Seamus O'Connell on the jet sweep, cutting back, but just not much room, and he may lose a yard. On those trick plays, sometimes you'll see a player that normally doesn't have an opportunity to throw the ball to just heave it up there because they can, and that's not the right way to do it. And so it was a smart move by O'Connell. Obviously not a receiver there that he liked the look of, and instead going to take it himself. And there's the flag down on the field on the near side. It's near the Father Ryan sideline. This may be a sideline warning. Sometimes you see in that vicinity. And we'll let you know as soon as we know, as they discuss what it might be. They're not moving the ball, so it may be just a warning. Indeed, a sideline infraction against the Irish. That's not a penalty, but if it happens again, it is. So Father Ryan will have to be careful. 10 minutes, 43 seconds to go in the second quarter. Irish down 14-0 to JP2. 3rd and 9. Big play here for this Irish offense. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. And Shoop in the shotgun. Faces some pressure, finds a hole, slips his way through the middle, but loses his footing, getting down to maybe the 31-yard line. So that's going to set up a 4th and 5.
And it looks as if the Irish are going to go for it here.
I think that's...
Coach Rector is letting Jay Shuford know right now what the plan is.
Irish can't just have JP2 jump offside, though, because that would make it, instead of 4th and 6, still a 4th down situation, 4th and 1. Too far for a field goal. You don't want to punt from your opponent's 32-yard line, have some confidence in your offense. They got to pick up the pace, though, with 10 seconds on the play clock. So 4th and 6, ball at the JP2 32-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side. Jay Shoop in the shotgun. He's going to roll to his right. Looking, waiting for players to get open. He's going to throw it across his body. Complete! Aaron Isbell to the far side, to the 15, to the 10. Can he fake out this defender? The stiff arm, finally out of bounds at the 4-yard line. First down, Irish. So Isabel, who was such a clutch receiver on that big drive the Irish had last week toward the end of the first half against McCauley. It didn't turn out so well on the 1-yard line with the fumble later, but Isabel proved to be a very reliable receiver for Jay Shoop. So the Irish are in business. They trail 14-0 to have the ball at the JP2 4-yard line. 9 minutes, 33 seconds to go, second quarter.
And now number 19, George Hooker, runs onto the field for the Irish.
Bringing some of their bigger players in. Hooker more on defense, where you see him typically, but this is a big set. Shoop under center, I formation, 3 running backs. That being Jackson Bird the third. He gets it, tries to break first tackle, but unable to do so. Will be stopped for maybe a 1-yard loss. I like the idea for the Irish trying to spread it out, taking advantage of some of their athleticism, but JP2 sniffed him out on that one. So they're going to say a 2-yard loss. 2nd and goal for the Irish from the JP2 6-yard line. And Shoop once again will go under center with 3 running backs behind him. No wide receivers, just a line up and try and punch in the face kind of an offensive approach. Instead, it's going to be Shoop rolling to the near side, makes the defender miss. Finally brought down by a pair of defenders. And then we got a flag for a late hit. Carolina Panthers fans last night were asking where those kind of flags were.
There is a penalty marker on the play.
There's no place in sports for late hits, and certainly for the Irish, if that ends up being the call, as it appears to be.
It is a personal foul against JP2.
That will be an automatic first down.
It'll be half the distance to the goal line.
So instead of it being 2nd and goal from the 6, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for this Irish offense, with 8 minutes, 48 seconds to go in the second quarter, trailing 14-0. Well, they're going to actually mark it at the 7, so disregard what I said before about the yardage. They have it on the far side marked as a 3rd down. It's clearly not. After a personal foul, that's an automatic first down. It's 1st and goal for the Irish. Ball at the JP2 7-yard line. 1 receiver to the far side, 1 to the near. And Shoop will bring man in motion to his far side. It's going to be a handoff. Jackson Bird. Bird's going to make that cut to the 5, to the 3, and then finally thrown down to the turf. Emphatic tackle there by Chris Bell, the 6'3", 190-pound senior, but not before Bird got some yardage there for the Irish to make it 2nd and 4. So a 3-yard carry there for Bird. Here we go, with 8 minutes to go in the first half. JP2 leads 14-0. Wholesale change for the Irish here on this 2nd and 4 situation.
And they have elected to go for the field goal now.
Okay, so that was the 3rd down play there. I apologize. Personal fouls, I thought gave you an automatic first down, but forget that. So 4th and goal, they're going to kick the field goal, and Hagee's kick is up and through. So I'm at a loss to explain the situation with the downs there, but however you shake it out, at least Father Ryan on that long drive gave their defense a chance to get a breather and got some points on the board. So now it's JP2 14, Father Ryan 3, 7 minutes 37 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Father Ryan's opponents today look a little different than the ones they played 50 years ago in the fall of Two Rivers. Cameron.
So 7 minutes, 37 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Father Ryan on the board, but they trail Pope John Paul II High School 14-3 here in South Nashville. So the first time Father Ryan kicked off was the opening kickoff of the game. JP2 took it all the way down to the Father Ryan 3. Certainly the Irish hope that doesn't happen on this play. Anthony Hagee has the leg to get it to the end zone, but as always, you have to actually make it happen. Even the best kickers can't do it every time. So a slight delay for some reasons. The officials get into position. Hagee's going to kick off from center point of the 40-yard line. And now we're back underway. Got a lot of leg under that one. Nice kickoff by Hagee, but it'll be fielded at the 2-yard line, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15. He's got a hold to the 20, to 30. Brought down at the 30-yard line. So a good return there by JP2 for Montrell McKnight. Made the tackle.
Return brought down by number 28, Montrell McKnight.
We haven't seen much of McKnight at the running back position. He was in against Clarksville Northeast. Did not see him for any carries against Macaulay. So it'll be Knight's ball at their own 30. First and 10, 7 minutes, 31 seconds to go second quarter. JP2 leads 14-3. And once again, a 3-receiver look from the Knights. 2 on the near side. Running back to the side of Brooks. One of those receivers goes in motion. They tease the jet sweep. Brooks is going to keep it himself on a pass. Flush from the pocket. He's going to heave it deep down the field, and it is caught. Hauled in by Pace Dempsey, the 6'1", 175-pound receiver that made a haul right there. I mean, there's not much you can do about that defensively. You try and stay true to playing your man, but you get somebody like Brooks that's elusive, earns that extra time, and has the arm to throw it. Gets it all the way down to the Irish 26-yard line. So not the way that the Irish wanted this drive to start defensively. 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go second quarter. JP2 14, Father Ryan 3. Brooks with a running back behind him. 2 receivers to the near side, one to the far. Looks to the far side, then cuts it back. He's going to keep it himself. And a designed QB keeper will get him close to maybe the 21-yard line.
That's correct. 22-yard line now.
So we'll be the 22. So a 4-yard gain will make it 2nd and 8 for the Knights. Less than 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Pope John Paul II leading 14-3. JP2 is not an up-tempo kind of team, at least from what I've seen from them. But they are methodical. And they've got a quarterback with an arm that can throw it. 2 receivers to the far side. 1 to the near and a running back behind Brooks. Brooks is going to face some pressure as the screen play. Perfect time for a screen as they'll get it down to close to the 15-yard line. Jamal Thompson on the reception. That's one thing that JP2 had some success with against Brentwood Academy was the inside screen. Not as much that kind of play. You know, it was unfortunate the Irish had a blitz on there when JP2 had the screen, but it wasn't enough for a first down. That's going to be third and a short one at the 16-yard line. 6 minutes to go. First half, Father Ryan trails JP2 14-3. In from the shotgun, but this time with blockers on either side of him behind the offensive tackles. Now Brooks is going under center. Watch the sneak here. He does sneak it. And it looks like he's going to have enough for a JP2 first down.
And the officials have signaled that it is a first down for the JP2 Knights.
If there's one downside to an offense that runs almost exclusively out of the shotgun is that when you go for a quarterback sneak, it's rather obvious. But it was effective there just as it was for Father Ryan when they ran the sneak on their last offensive possession. So 5 minutes, 39 seconds to go second quarter. JP2 leads 14-3, and they have the ball once again into the Father Ryan red zone. Irish trying to get a stop here on defense. So again, a 3-receiver look. Blocker to that far side for Brooks. He looks to the near side on the pass. Complete. and brought in, almost dropped it. Finally hauled down at the 5-yard line there. Marcel Fogg looked to be in there.
Ball spot at the 5-yard line. It's going to be
So
second
Chris
and less
Bell,
than a yard.
I was telling you about that 6'3" receiver that they have. That's him. So he made the catch there on what is not quite enough for a first down. 2nd inches at the 6-yard line. So JP2 can get a first down if they're able to move it to or close to the 5-yard line. Less than 5 minutes to go here in the first half. So Brooks from the shotgun. Tyder said he's going to roll to the far side. A couple of players can be option. Be enough for a first down, close to the goal line. And a touchdown. They're going to give a touchdown to Jamal Thompson.
Number 4, Jamal Thompson.
Good ways away from where we are here in that far corner of the end zone.
What a score there by Thompson.
Give him credit. They've got some athletes on this team, as Father Ryan has seen tonight. So that makes it 20. 20-3. JP2 on top with an extra point pending. We noted before, this is a JP2 team that 2 weeks ago hung 54 points on Coffee County Central.
Number 18, Nicholas Zangu.
So Zanger lines up for the presumptive extra point try. Snap bounces. That's a live ball. They can take it for 2. You got ineligible players downfield in my estimation, and it's tipped away. So some saving grace there for Father Ryan is that the extra point attempt with a botched snap / hold ends up being an attempted pass, batted away harmlessly for the Irish. So that makes it JP2 leading, but only 20-3. Of course, that means a 17-point hole for the Irish. And with enough time to set up perhaps 1, maybe 2 offensive drives here in this first half, becoming paramount for this offense to get something going. Some other games we'll give you updates on later this evening. Howard playing at Baylor. Baylor's looking tough. They're 3-0. Innsworth playing against a Memphis school, Tresvant. They're 2-1. Not a lot of Division II AA games tonight besides the one that you're watching right now, Father Ryan and Pope John Paul II. JP2 leads 20-3. 4 minutes, 28 seconds to go, second quarter. And the Knights prepare to kick off. Another game that interests me on the docket, A-plus Academy out of Dallas, Texas, playing Brentwood Academy. BA gets some unusual opponents. And there's the kickoff by JP2. It'll be fielded maybe the 2, the 3-yard line, brought back to the 20, and then slammed down to the turf. A good effort there by Sage Warren on the return, but defensive play by Reese. Check that, Austin Wilhite on the stop for JP2. So Father Ryan will have the ball at their own 19-yard line. 1st and 10. 4 minutes, 22 seconds to go in the first half. JP2 leading by the score of 20-3. Also keep you posted on Evangelical Christian. That's the opponent next week here. Father Ryan's campus for homecoming. We'll get into that more in a bit. 1st and 10, Irish at the 19-yard line. Shoot out of the shotgun with a couple of players to the near side next to him. He's going to give a handoff to Quimby. Quimby finds a hole, slices it to the 30. A late flag comes in. If the play stands, it's enough for a Father Ryan first down. But we're going to see what that infraction was.
Carried by number 21, Elvin Quimby up the middle. Ball spotted at the 31. There's a penalty marker down.
So the officials will discuss it. Quimby has been quite the spark plug on offense. Able to find the hole and put some yardage on the board.
I agree, Lou, and he is going to need to be a key for the Irish here. He and Shoop are going to need to work together for this Irish because this seems to be a shootout now situation for the Irish.
Well,
if they want to get back into this.
There's a penalty situation just there, so wipe away that Quimby first down run. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, so it sets up 1st and 9 from the 21-yard line. So an unusual situation with 1st and 9 or 1st and 8. So Shoop out of the shotgun. Player shifts to the near side. It's going to hand it off to Quimby, looking for the hole in the corner. Slices, makes one player miss. Hit, ball's loose. The ball is loose, and JP2 says they have it. Waiting for the signal.
There is a fumble on the play.
And indeed, it is JP2 ball. So things go from bad to worse for this Father Ryan team. Quimby, after that great run, called back for a hold, trying to make something happen, losing control of the ball. And it's going to be Knight's ball at the Father Ryan 27-yard line, with JP2 already leading 20-3 here. 3 minutes, 44 seconds to go first half.
And on that play, it was number 64, Cody Moyer, on the fumble recovery for the JP2 Knights.
That sets up 1st and 10 for the Knights at the Father Ryan 27-yard line. Irish defense going to have to make something happen here. Looking at a 3 wide receiver set. And Brooks out of the shotgun. They'll take the snap. Some pressure from around the end will flush him from the pocket. He's sacked. Great play right there. Jackson Bird. Bringing that defensive pressure from the edge. That's that 3-4 defensive look that almost turns into a 5-2 or de facto 5-2 with those outside linebackers playing up. Take advantage of that kind of speed and athleticism that Bird has. Able to drop Brooks for a 5-yard loss. That's up 2nd and 15. So it's JP2 leading 20-3. 3 minutes, 11 seconds to go first half. 2nd and 15. Brooks out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers with trips to the far side. Is that receiver screen faked? A good tease, but not much there. Is trying to run the ball. There's multiple players for the Irish in on the stop. Nick Belmonte saw him down there. And also Jack Boutte, PA announcer, lets everyone know. So no gain on the play for the Knights, and it's 3rd and long. Father Ryan's defense would sure like to get a stop here. Late in the first half, down by 17. Maybe give their offense one more crack at it. That clock is running with 2:30 and counting to go. The Knights content to take their time. Again, a 4 wide receiver look. 2 wide receivers to either side, and a 1 running back to the side of Brooks. He'll get the shotgun snap. Irish smelled a fake, and they got it. Great discipline right there by Father Ryan. They recognize that fake, and that sets up 4th down. Jamal Thompson had nowhere to go, and he's shown when he's got space, he can make things happen.
That's right. But it was a great tackle by number 4, Nick Crumnauer.
Oh yeah, give Crumnauer credit. That was a heck of a play. But the Irish definitely, they showed not only discipline but also great physicality to get in there and make that stop. So 4th and 18. The clock continues to run. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. JP2's going to go for it. They're kind of this no man's land. So 4th and 18 from the Father Ryan 35-yard line. They would have to get to, looks like the 17 to get a first down. Father Ryan brings some peas to the throw over the middle, incomplete. And so that's a turnover on downs for the Irish. And the defense, when they needed him to come through, they managed to get the stop right there. And with 1 minute and 34 seconds to go, the Irish have the ball. They have 2 timeouts. And with a 17-point deficit, they have the need to put some points on the board, if at all possible, here before the end of this first half. Now, this Father Ryan team has had all kinds of conditioning, doing whatever they can to stay in top shape. As this game wears on, these warm conditions, and while the sun is down, it's not as blistering hot as it was earlier. My goodness, for being September especially. So it'll be Father Ryan ball, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. With a 4 wide receiver bunch to the near side, 1 receiver to the far side. No running backs for Shoop out of the shotgun at quarterback. Now he'll look to the sideline for instruction. And there's the snap. And that play went nowhere fast. It was a fake wide receiver screen, trying to get the defense to bite and go to the far side. No dice on that. And Shoop's going to be dropped for a loss.
Well spotted 31, loss of 4. 2nd and 14.
And yet again for the Irish, yet another critical drive right before the half, no less.
So the offense going the wrong direction. 2nd down and 14, 1 minute 5 seconds to go. The Knights bring 5, and there's just no green grass there, or turf, or call it what you will, for Shoop He's brought down at best back at the line of scrimmage, may have lost a yard or two.
In the backfield, ball spotted at the
The clock is running, less than 43 seconds to go. Both teams have 2 timeouts, neither showing any inclination to utilize them. And I can understand that for Father Ryan looking at 3rd and long. You stop the clock here and then can't convert on 4th down. You might put yourself in a tough situation. So they're going to let that clock run down. They haven't even started the play clock yet. So unless a timeout is used here, Father Ryan has the possibility of just letting this clock run all the way down to 0. But they're going to step up to the line. 10 seconds to go in the half. Shoop looking to the sidelines. He's got 3 receivers. 5 seconds. This may all be a dog and pony show, though. They may not intend to snap it. And they don't. So Father Ryan deciding to take it to the locker room, down by 17. So your score at halftime, Pope John Paul II High School 20, Father Ryan 3. Coming up at halftime, the band will be out there for the first time this season. The crowd will get to see them. Maybe they'll get them fired up. You know, Father Ryan will make some adjustments here at halftime, try and turn things around. We'll be back.
Stevens. Juniors, Kate Pruitt, Maya Lozada, Maddie Hayden. Sophomore, Emily Camacho. Freshman, Elle Kaufman. Cordelia Newton. Kara Orlick. And Izzy Tiesler. This past summer, the girls attended the UDA summer camp in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where they were awarded numerous awards, including Overall Superior Team and an invitation to Nationals in Orlando. The dancers will be competing in the TSSAA competition in the hip-hop and jazz divisions in November. Tonight, they'll be performing a palm routine to Let's Get Loud, choreographed by our 3 senior captains. Give it up for your Father Ryan dancers. Congratulations, dancers. Cheerleading is a time-honored tradition here at Father Ryan. Since the earliest days at the Elston Place campus, they've led their fellow students in cheers with soaring backflips, basket tosses, and other head-turning stunts. Pom-poms always held high. With their help, the spirit of Father Ryan continues to reverberate throughout high school games and throughout Nashville. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the field as we welcome last year's state champion, the 2016-2017 Father Ryan cheerleaders. Let's hear it for our 2016-17 cheerleaders. And now, please turn your attention to the field as we welcome the 2016 Father Ryan Marching Band. The band has established itself as one of the premier programs in the nation with their innovative and exciting performances. Last year, the band was named a national semifinalist at the Bands of America Grand National Championships. The Winter Guard finished 6th in the world, and the Winter Winds finished 3rd in the world at the WGI World Championships. They are fan favorites on the local, regional, and national level. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Father Ryan Marching Band under the direction of Jeff, Derek, and Dustin Schletzer, and Jeremy Fry.
approaching end of halftime here at Father Ryan's campus, with the Irish trailing Pope John Paul II High School by the score of 20-3. So here on the call, Lou Pickney and Austin Wright. And Austin, Father Ryan will get the ball to start the second half, and the hope is that whatever adjustments were made at halftime will be successful to help them get a long, sustained drive and get some momentum built to start the second half.
That's correct. A much-needed possession here for the Irish to get something going here in the second half.
Looked like they had things going relatively late in the first half. Elton Quimby run that looked like a first down was called back for a hold. Then a fumble by Quimby on the following play. Managed to sink that drive. This is a good JP2 team that the Irish are facing. JP2 has not had particularly competitive teams, I would suggest, many recent years, not the early days like with Golden Tate. But they've got a squad this year, and they've got a quarterback that in the first half managed to show what he can do. And the Irish knew from last year. I mean, I was on play last year up there in Hendersonville. So Father Ryan gathers around the 10-yard line. Try and get fired up to start this third quarter. The officials at midfield, about 30 seconds on that clock. Then they'll reset and ready to start this third quarter. The longest drive that Father Ryan had got the ball inside the 3-yard line, or at least inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Irish had to settle for a field goal in that situation, and I still haven't received clarification for what happened there. You know, personal foul is supposed to be an automatic first down, so perhaps I was misinformed what the call was, but whatever the case, it's a 17-point deficit for the Irish, but they'll be receiving the ball to start the second half. Largest victory by JP2 over Father Ryan was the first time they ever played in junior year for Golden Tate. They won that one 49-21. And then the game here at Father Ryan, 4 years ago, where the Knights beat the Irish 10-6. Father Ryan leads the series 9-2. If they want to make it 10-2, they're going to have to put some points on the board here in this second half. And I give credit to JP2's defense. 1 week after they were absolutely blown off the ball in the first half against Brentwood Academy, they've managed to stay in their gaps and show some pretty good discipline. Now, Father Ryan's had a couple of nice looks when they managed to cut back, whether it was Jackson Bird or Elton Quimby. I imagine both will have an opportunity to run the ball here, if not in this upcoming drive, then in this upcoming quarter as we start the second half. JP2 finally takes to the field a little longer than usual, although not like next week. Next week, with it being homecoming, it will be a longer halftime. The homecoming court and everything you would expect with that. Hope those of you who can make it do. Those of you who cannot, we'll have this broadcast for you live as we always do. Wonderful service provided by Father Ryan High School. So JP2 lines up on the far side, the far hash at the 40 for this kickoff. The Irish with 2 receivers deep, with 4 in the middle and 5 up men. And the second half is underway. Spinning kick going towards the corner. Be fielded maybe the 2, the 3, to the 20-yard line, making some room, moving the ball to the outside. Is Warren to the 30, and then down to the 35-yard line. So a whole lot of running right there on that play for Sage Warren from deep in the corner on the far side all the way to the near side. And it sets up Father Ryan with pretty good field position for this first offensive possession of the second half. And again, JP2 with that 4-3 type of look. In this case, at 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers with an extra DB in because of Father Ryan's 3 wide receivers. So Shoop in the shotgun will look to the side. Get the confirmation from his coaching staff. There's the shotgun snap. This is Jackson Bird, and Bird gets his way close to the 40. I guess they'll mark him at the 39-yard line. Jackson Bird, and there's some late flags. So we'll see what this penalty is right here. As it stood, the play was going to be at the Father Ryan 39-yard line. The way you see players moving.
It does seem as though that the Irish will be moving up from what the referees are discussing, and From what I saw, it was number 5 for the Knights, Cameron Scott there.
And they did call, in fact, a personal foul. So a 3-yard run, then you tack on 15 for the personal foul, and that gives Father Ryan the ball 1st and 10 at the JP2 46-yard line. The Knights lead the Irish 20-3, 11 minutes, 38 seconds to go, third quarter. Personal fouls, the type of mental mistakes. It's easy to get emotions high, especially with it being so hot out there. In this rivalry, the Bishop's Cup is on the line. Father Ryan has had it since they won it back in 2013. They don't want to lose it tonight, but they trail by 17. As the shotgun is handed off, Sage Warren and the Jets sweep to the near side, forced out of bounds around the 40, maybe the 41-yard line, a 5, maybe 6-yard gain. So Sage Warren, after that long kickoff, getting a carry by way of the jet sweep. So they're going to say a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 Irish, trailing 20-3, 11 minutes, 14 seconds to go, third quarter. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, and Shoup once again in the shotgun. Takes a look at the defense. Confirmation from the coaching staff, 10 seconds on the play clock. And it's another handoff. Bird trying to work his way through there. He does, moves the pile, and he'll have the ball at maybe the 42-yard line. Within maybe a yard and a half of a first down. The Irish need to reach the 36-yard line of JP2 to get a first down. So it's a yard short, 3rd and 1, ball at the JP2 37-yard line. Important play right here for the Irish to go that 4 wide receiver bunch look to the far side with 1 receiver to the near. Nobody in there to protect Shoup in the backfield. JP2 with only 2 defenders over there against that quartet of receivers on the far side for the Irish. Shoup's going to keep it himself, run up the middle, get the first down, finally knocked to the ground at the 29-yard line. So Jay Shoup on a play designed perhaps to draw the defense away from the middle of the field on that QB keeper, moves the chains.
Great pickup there by Jay Shoup.
Almost went airborne the way he was hit. Safe landing. You got to be tough if you're going to play quarterback, though. That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Tighter formation from the Irish. Only 2 wide receivers on this play. And Shoup in the shotgun with 7 in the box. And give it to Quimby. Quimby jersey grabbed. And that set up a gang tackle. Cameron Scott and Zach Scott teaming up to make the tackle.
Definitely not what the Irish were looking for with Elton Quimby going down there. But on these critical downs here in JP2 territory, every down counts. So they will be looking for everyone to pitch in for this effort.
The Knights brought 7 on that play. When I say bringing 7, for those of you not that familiar with the game, that means between the tackles, they had 7 defensive players out of 11 in there. Makes it tough to run. So now the Irish are going to spread it out again. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near. 2nd and 14. Shoup from the shotgun. He's looking to the near side, looking. He's going to scramble with it. Slides through to the 30. Spins around. 2 more players get around him. And it's a scrum near the 28-yard line as the whistles blow. Nice gain there by Shoup after nothing was happening there as far as the passing game went on that play. So they're going to say the ball at the 28-yard line. That's going to set up a 3rd and 8 for the Irish. They need to get it just outside the JP2 20-yard line to get a first down. Now remember that late extra point miss in the first half by the Knights made this a 17-point game. So if the Irish had to go for a long field goal here and were able to convert, that would make it a 2-touchdown game. But first things first, let's look at this 3rd and 8 situation. The Irish would love a touchdown here. They would take a first down, I would suggest. So the shotgun to Shoup. He's going to look. He's pressure from the far side, scrambling around, throws the ball up for grabs. And is it caught? It is caught. What a reception. Patrick Beacom on the play. That ball was kind of thrown up for grabs right there, and Beacom, with a good hands, able to haul it in.
What a play there by Beacom.
Good play by Shoup to buy time as well. That's one of those throws where you hold your breath. But when you're down by 17 points, sometimes you got to roll the dice. So it worked for Father Ryan there. They've got the ball for the 2nd time in this game in JP2's red zone. 1st and 10 Irish. Ball spotted at the 19. JP2 leads 20-3. 8 minutes, 21 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Out of the shotgun. It's a handoff to Bird. Bird right up the middle. A couple defenders bring him down near the 15-yard line, maybe the 16. About a 4-yard gain. And that's that solid run by Bird. You're not going to see many yards for loss from him. He'll find that hole and hit it quick. You can stop him, good for you if you're a defense. But he definitely moves the ball in the right direction for the Irish. So 2nd and 6 ball at the JP2 16-yard line. Less than 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Irish down by 17. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. And Shoop yet again from the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff that's blown up. Nowhere at all for Jackson Bird to go with Cameron Scott busting up the middle. No respect for the pass right there. Sold out against the run and made the correct call in that case for JP2. So now Father Ryan looking at a 3rd and 11. Ball at the 20-yard line. Jay Linton comes to the sideline. Patrick Beacom back in for the Irish at receiver. 12 seconds on the play clock. As Father Ryan moves to the line. Going to have 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. And Jackson Bird on the hip of Jay Shoop. Shoop steps back, surveys the situation as a receiver open, complete on the near side as he fell to the ground. Reception made by Nick Miller. So they're going to spot the ball at the 15-yard line. It's not enough for a first down. Oh, they're going to say incomplete. So after all of that, an incompletion. Now the Irish have a decision to make. Do you go for the field goal here? It would be about a 38-yarder.
And it does look like Coach Rector is going to bring out the field goal unit.
Certainly passes the logic test as far as what you would do in this situation. The field goal would make it a 2-possession game. And Anthony Hagee has the leg to do it. This would be a 37-yard field goal. Good snap. The kick is blocked. No. No good. I thought it was blocked. I got an odd view of it. I didn't see where that ball ended up.
It did look like it was completely blocked, but it did skip just under the goalpost.
So perhaps deflected, but certainly not what the Irish were looking for there. So the long drive gets into JP2's red zone, but no points on the board for the Irish. And the Knights continue to hold on to a 17-point lead. 6 minutes, 48 seconds to go, third quarter. And so now the Knights back on offense, a 3-receiver look. Brooks out of the shotgun's going to keep it, pitch it. But Father Ryan's got that play blown up. 3 or 4 Irish defenders right there. Good tackle for a loss. Jamal Thompson is a dangerous runner. You get him in the open field, he can tear you up. But Father Ryan right there with the defenders to give him nowhere to go, and will end up being spotted as it looks like a 4-yard loss. So 2nd and 14 now for JP2. Irish in that 3-4 look. Outside linebackers up 5 at the line of scrimmage. 4 wide receivers going for that wide receiver screen. It goes off the back of Jackson Bird. Talk about reading a play. That's an incomplete pass. You guys jump on the ball. Nice thinking there.
Great decision there by Jackson Bird.
Well, clearly they saw the same thing I did on video, at least from what I saw against Brentwood Academy of these screens, the receiver screens, when you see a trio of them. They actually managed to have some success with that against Brentwood Academy, but not in that play against the Irish, the defense, and Jackson Bird making it happen on both sides of the ball once again. 3rd and 14, 6:09 to go, third quarter. Pope John Paul II High School leads Father Ryan 20-3. The shotgun snap. Brooks looking to throw, steps up, heaves it deep, nobody there. Overthrew his closest receiver by 5, maybe 10 yards. That stops the clock and makes it 4th and long and a likely punting situation for the Knights.
Yet another great turn of events for the Father Ryan defense there.
Brooks has an arm. I mean, make no mistake, the guy can throw it, but he definitely made it where it's, perhaps one of those where you throw it where nobody can catch it. And that type of a situation, not wanting to risk a turnover, especially after what almost happened in that last play. Irish defense making it happen on that possession. So 4th and 14, 6:03 to go, third quarter. The Knights up by 17, but punting to the Irish to bring some heat. It's an awkward-looking punt that goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That's a net of only 9 yards. So a colossal bad kick. I think it was to the right and skims out of bounds.
What a great situation here for the Irish.
A good break for Father Ryan. Don't get me wrong.
And hopefully they can make the most of this situation now.
You got to get some points on the board, clearly. Midway through the third quarter with only a field goal thus far. And the Knights having hung 20 up on the other side. So it'll be 1st and 10 Father Ryan, ball at the JP2 24-yard line. It's going to be a 3 wide receiver look with 2 to the near side on this 1st and 10. And Shoop, as he normally does, sets, looks to the coaches, then back under center in that shotgun position. Hand it off to Jackson Bird. Bird to the far side. Runs into several bodies down there. Almost like bowling right there, trying to knock guys over. There's some big folks in there. They're going to spot it, it looks like, at the 21-yard line. So a 3-yard gain for Jackson Bird, 2nd and 7. As we approach 5.
And now back into the game for the Irish, Elton Quimby and Mitchell Bray.
So good to have Bray back in there. I didn't know how long he was going to be out for that collarbone injury. Happy to have him back. So Father Ryan, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near on this 2nd and 7. As we approach 5 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Man in motion to the near side, fakes the handoffs. Shoop's going to keep it himself to the 15, to the 10, sliding through quickly down to the 6-yard line, and a 1st down, Father Ryan. Jay Shoop making it happen on offense. I love his decisiveness. You want a decisive quarterback. If you're going to keep it, you keep it and run. And that's what he did right there. The elusive run makes it 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Father Ryan moving quickly. 2 receivers to the near side. Shoop from the shotgun. This 1st and goal from the 6. It's going to be a handoff to Quimby. Quimby looking for a hole, finds some daylight for a moment, and finally dragged down at maybe the 3-yard line.
Carry by number 21, Elton Quimby. Up the middle. Ball spotted at the 3-yard
So Quimby
line.
out, Bird in. Along with Nick Crumnauer into the game, and George Hooker, so they're putting in some guys with some size in there. This goal line look for the Irish. 2nd and goal from the 3. Father Ryan needs a touchdown here, trailing by 17 here in the 3rd quarter. So under center is Shoop, 3 running backs behind him. It'll be to Bird. Bird gets down close, not quite there. It appears they will spot the ball at the 1.5-yard line, maybe the 2.
By Jackson Bird.
That sets up a critical 3rd down here for the Irish, deep in JP2 territory. So an official's timeout for a moment. And now you have players starting to cramp up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Irish
Individual down for JP2.
community have been generous once again tonight.
So 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. JP2 leads 20-3. That was their score at halftime. And Father Ryan,
That's more than $25 a second.
deepest field position of the game. They had it down deep in JP2 territory in the first half before finally having to settle for a field goal, which represents their only points thus far. Irish attempted a field goal in this quarter that was, at least from our vantage point, appeared to be deflected. Certainly don't want to try and chance it here. You get this close, you want to get a touchdown. You got to get a touchdown on the board if at all possible. You got 3 scores to get through, but that's the fastest way to do it. And so it looks like the player that was down receiving attention for JP2 now back up on his feet. And that's Jamal Thompson. And we talked about, I hope if I could read the right number. That's not. That's Drew Bledsoe. Now Bledsoe, he got hurt last week against BA. This is a little bit different. Last week he was favoring his wrist. He's an excellent linebacker. I mean, for my money, he's as good as...
That is a critical injury for JP2.
It's hard to know if it's an injury or a cramping situation, but whatever it is, he's out of the game on a very important play. So you're looking at 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Father Ryan trails John Paul II 20-3. Irish would love to punch it in there and get their first touchdown of the game. So the big boys are in there with Shoop under center, 3 running backs behind him. And it'll go to Bird. Bird diving forward. Touchdown, Irish.
Jackson Bird takes the ball in the end zone for a Father Ryan touchdown.
So Jackson Bird finding his way into the end zone, and the Irish are going to set up for a possible 2-point conversion. It's 20-9, so you don't necessarily need that here, but this is the typical look they give, seeing what kind of...
They are setting up in their unorthodox field goal unit, and they are going back to the traditional.
An extra point would bring the Irish within 10. It's 20-9 in JP2. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is good. So with 4 minutes, 13 seconds to go, here in the 3rd quarter, the Irish on the comeback trail. Father Ryan down 20-10 to JP2.
Credit card.
4:13 to go in the third quarter. Father Ryan trailing John Paul II by the score of 20-10. Lou Pickney and Austin Wright with you on the call as the Irish, playing just their second home game of the season, prepare to kick off to the Knights. So some momentum now for Father Ryan. You get the long drive ending with a touchdown and the extra point. And so now you hope what happened to start the game with a long kickoff return doesn't repeat itself. And we'll see what Hagee can do. Anthony Hagee kicking off from the 40-yard line. And it's an onside kick. Surprise onside kick, but JP2 jumps on it. A heads-up play there. And not a bad time to go for the onside kick. A good job, though.
At their own 48-yard line, it'll be night ball, first
I would tell you who number 84 is, but I had to combine two different rosters for JP2 to put this together. It's like an art project for me. And that guy wasn't in there, so whoever he was, hats off to him for making the heads-up play. So it'll be 1st and 10, JP2 at their own 49-yard line. The Irish trying to take advantage of that momentum, catch the Knights napping, but no luck there. So it'll be Brooks out of the shotgun with 3 receivers, 2 to the far side. He looks to the far side. Centers back up, throws a deep pass. Has a receiver there, but overthrows him by maybe a yard. Good effort, though. C.J. Laws. He's not that tall at 5'8", but he's got some speed. Not quite enough there to catch up to that pass, though. So it stops the clock with 4:08 to go in the third quarter. The Irish down by 10. And now a 2nd and 10 for JP2 at their own 49-yard line.
And I will add that was good defense there by Seamus O'Connell, number 3, for the Irish.
Oh, he was step for step with him. I concur. So you got Brooks now in the shotgun. It's going to be setting up an option play to the near side. He'll get maybe 2 yards as he dives across the 50-yard line. He might have it at the Father Ryan 49. If so, that's going to set up a 3rd and 8 situation.
3rd and 8.
Well, they're going to spot it at the 50, so that's going to make it 3rd and 9. They would have to get it to the Father Ryan 41-yard line for a first down. Irish defense to be tested here. 3 minutes, 44 seconds and counting to go in the third quarter. JP2 leading by the score of 20-10. The Knights not in any hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. They'll have a 4 receiver look. 2 to the near side and 2 to the far with a near side running back next to Brooks. Receives that shotgun. Snap, he gets flushed and sacked. Brought down Jake Boutte. Big play right there by that Irish defense, making it happen. So Boutte with the sack. It's going to be looking at 4th and long. They're going to spot the ball at the JP2 41-yard line and a presumptive punting situation. As you can feel now, Austin, the Irish getting that momentum on their side. They still trail by 10, but that defensive stop put the Irish offense back on the field and put that JP2 defense that was out there for so long back out there once again.
Definitely a much-needed stop there for the Irish.
High punt, fair catch called for and made at the 25, maybe the 26-yard line by Sage Warren. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Irish. They're going to spot the ball at the Father Ryan 27-yard line, it looks like, with 2:40 to go here in the third quarter. So plenty of time for the Irish. The fact now it's just a 10-point game. You don't have to rush. You don't have to do anything too crazy. You can go back to your running game. The more you run the ball in the first half, as they did, that sets you up for the second half, especially as the fourth quarter arrives. You'll start to see running backs bounce off of defenders. Arm tackles are made. Exhaustion sets in. Drew Bledsoe, the really good linebacker, is back out there for JP2, so the Irish had to account for him on this 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. It's a handoff to Quimby, but not much room at all for Quimby. Cameron Scott on the stop for JP2. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Carry by number 21, Elton Quimby.
So no gain there for the Irish.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
A long 10, if you can call it that. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. JP2 leading 20-10. So 2nd and 10 for the Irish. Shoot with 4 receivers, 2 on either side. And again, that shotgun setup, looking to the sideline from instruction from his coaching staff. 8 seconds on the play clock. He'll survey the situation now. Snap is good. They're setting up a screen, and it's complete to Quimby. Quimby to the 30. There's a flag down to the 35, to the 40. Still on his feet. To the 46-yard line. We'll see what the flag is. It's a first down if the play stands. And the way Jay Shoup is motioning, It looks like it's going to be a penalty, perhaps roughing the passer. Indeed, so a double whammy. This JP2 defense, not only did they give up a long first down, they fell for it on the screen, and they hit the quarterback. So good news for Father Ryan. Starting to get JP2 on its heels a little bit here. The Knights lead the Irish 20-10. 1 minute, 46 seconds to go. They're going to spot the ball at the JP2 39-yard line. And Austin, you can feel this momentum. You can hear this crowd start to get a little more excited.
Definitely.
Looking down at the jungle, they're fired up.
It is definitely turning in the Irish's favor.
Nice.
And that was a great run, though, by Quimby. Especially, and then the penalty helps as well. With this, the Irish have a much better chance of going down further to the field because they have now got another good possession going. But it seems as though Jay Shoup and Coach Rector are having a few words to decide on the play.
They only have 6 seconds on the play clock, so they may have to burn a timeout here. This is not what the Irish wanted.
Timeout, Father Ryan.
So for Father Ryan, they're going to talk about it here on this 1st and 10 with 1 minute 24 to go in the third quarter. JP2 up 20-10, but the Irish, after getting that touchdown in the previous possession, trying to put some more points on the board, make this a one-possession game.
Girls soccer continues its season with their next home game against Franklin High School.
Minute 24 to go here in the third quarter. Lou Pickney with you along with Austin Wright on the call tonight from Father Ryan's campus. First of 3 consecutive home games for the Irish. Next week, homecoming against Evangelical Christian out of Memphis. I was there for that game last year. The Irish lost. Love to get payback this year. And then 2 weeks from tonight, NBA. Is this the year, Austin? Is this the year that Father Ryan breaks the long losing streak against NBA? It goes back to 1997, the state championship game. The Irish won. It was wonderful.
There is always reason to hope, and with a new coach, with Coach Rector, and a new system in place, there's always reason to believe.
First things first, though, a 10-point deficit to JP2 as it's 1st and 10 Father Ryan from the 39-yard line of the Knights. After that timeout, a bunch formation. It's going to be an end-around run down to the 35, maybe the 33-yard line on that carry by Seamus O'Connell. So O'Connell has been playing so well at cornerback, utilized on the jet sweep. They're going to spot the ball at the JP2 32-yard line, so the Irish looking at 2nd and 2 with 1 minute and now less than a minute to go in the third quarter, and the Knights up by 10. The Knights show blitz with a man in motion. It's O'Connell. They're going to hand it off to O'Connell. He has a seam to the near side. He's got a block. He's got another. Jersey. You need the tearaway jersey that Alabama had decades ago. Finally, there's a late flag. So we're going to see what this call is. And there's a second flag. So showing a penalty against Father Ryan and against JP2.
2 penalty markers are down.
It also seems as if for JP2 that number 3, Zach Scott, is on the field, and he seems either he's cramping or it's not a definitive sign of what's going on. But it seems as though he needs some help.
Well, and that might, again, never want to speculate, but it does have the look of being a cramp as opposed to an injury. Not a surprise, though, the way the heat is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's where all that conditioning, and that's the thing when I played, I hated it. Hated it with a passion running those sprints. But it meant so much. It paid off for situations like this. Because now you start to see JP2, and I'm sure they've done their share of conditioning as well, but they say fatigue makes cowards of us all. And even if you're not feeling cowardly, just the fact that your muscles are cramping up, I mean, you have all the willpower in the world, but if your muscles aren't going to cooperate, then no dice on that. So players on both sides getting hydrated. Always very important to stay hydrated out there as they try and work out the cramp on Scott. So here we are with 43.4 seconds to go in the third quarter. Father Ryan trails JP2 20-10. And now the question is, with the ball spotted just inside the JP2 20, are those penalties offset? Will they bring the play back?
On both Father Ryan and JP2.
Waiting to hear what the PA announcer says.
They're offsetting penalties. The ball is at the 19-yard
So the penalties offset, the play stands. That's the important thing. After all that, the play stood. So with those offsetting penalties, and that's the second, even though that one would be offset, the second one in this drive for JP2. They're going to have to watch themselves on that. Good news for the Irish, though, is it'll be 1st and 10 right at the 20-yard line of the Knights. Shoop's going to bring O'Connell into motion. Hand it up to him once again on that jet sweep. Looks for outside opening. Finally gets one to the 15, down to the 13, maybe the 12, and forced out of bounds. Seamus O'Connell, the defensive back turned running back. De facto running back, if nothing else, with those jet sweeps out of the wide receiver position. And that's one thing, with as much shotguns you see out of the modern game on the high school level, it gives you opportunities to do things like that. Use advantage of some of your speedier players. O'Connell stays in the game over on the far side of the field along with Nick Miller. Players
and the Irish are definitely utilizing Seamus O'Connell here. 6 foot, 167 sophomore.
Timeout, JP2.
So the Knights are going to use the timeout on defense. That leaves both teams with 2 remaining. And you can see Jay Shoop throwing his arms up in the air, trying to get the crowd fired up, and rightly so, as the Irish have the momentum. They have the ball. And with a position at the JP2 11-yard line on 2nd and 2, possibility of the Irish making it a one-possession game and potentially moving within 3 points.
Father Ryan has hosted the largest student-led Relay for Light in the nation.
So for those of you joining us late, it was 20-3 at the half that JP2 led Father Ryan. But the Irish have had the edge here in the 3rd quarter. And they're 11 yards from that purple turf and an opportunity to make this a single possession game.
The girls volleyball team continues its journey to the state.
So this timeout by JP2 gives both sides a chance to get a little bit of rest, if you can call it that. A shot of water. And they're going to go back in there with the ball spotted on the far side of the field. So 2nd and 2 from the JP2 11-yard line. Knights lead the Irish 20-10. Tight formation for the Irish with one wide receiver to the far side. Quimby will be sent in motion from the right side to the left side of Shoop. Now a 2nd man in motion. Looks for a hold. The 10. Pushed out of bounds at maybe the 8-yard line. And so Sage Warren gives the Irish a 1st down. So that sets up 1st and goal from the JP2 8-yard line.
It's 1st and goal from the 8.
So Father Ryan using several different players on this drive, trying to punch it in for another touchdown. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. This might be the final play of the quarter on this 1st and goal. Shoop's going to hand it off to Jackson Bird. Bird plunging near the end zone, not quite. And he ends up being brought down at the 2-yard line. So that's going to be it for 3 quarters. The Irish trail by 10, but they're knocking on the door at the end of 3. Pope John Paul II High School 20, Father Ryan 10. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Father Ryan High School's campus in South Nashville. The Irish trailing the Knights of Pope John Paul II 20-10. But Father Ryan, which trailed by 17 at the half, knocking on the door with 2nd and goal at the JP2 2-yard line. After a Jackson Bird run on the last play of the 3rd quarter, moved the Irish 6 yards closer to pay dirt. So it'll be Irish ball on the near side, on the near hash. And one would expect them to bring their jumbo formation in. Some of the big guys in there. Got George Hooker in there. Gonna have, once again, that triple running back look extended I formation behind Shoop, who goes under center.
It's second and goal.
So second goal, maybe a long 2. And you might see Shoop keep it here. Instead, he's going to hand it off. There's Jackson Bird pushing forward. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Irish.
Number 22, Jackson Bird with a carry into the end zone for another Father Ryan touchdown.
So for the second time in as many weeks, Father Ryan makes the needed adjustments at halftime to change the flow of the game. They're in too big of a hole at McCauley for it to ultimately be effective there. But here against the rival JP2 Knights, they're an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. It's a high snap. The hold is good. The extra point kick is up and in. So with 11 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, the Irish have pulled within 3. Your score, JP2 20, Father Ryan 17. 11 minutes, 55 seconds to go in regulation. Father Ryan trailing JP2 20-17, but the Irish 14 unanswered points here in the second half have turned a 17-point halftime deficit into only a 3-point hole. Lou Pickney, Austin Wright with you. Glad you're joining us tonight. This week 4 Father Ryan football. And so Austin, after that long drive, Father Ryan's defense, another chance to catch their breath, to rest a little bit. The momentum's on their side, and so a pretty big series coming up here as the Irish try and contain this JP2 offense.
If the situation here for the Irish is they, as you said, they are energized, they have the momentum on their side, so it will be interesting to see what they come out with.
So it'll be Hagee kicking off from the 40, around that X in the middle of it, denoting the midfield position. You can hear the fans, the Father Ryan faithful, cheering, applauding, yelling. A lot of excitement, and rightly so. A 17-point deficit has turned to a 3-point deficit. Be careful on this kickoff, though. JP2 took the opening kickoff almost all the way back for a touchdown. Don't want that to happen here, obviously. The last kickoff attempt by Father Ryan was an unsuccessful onside try. And instead, it's a squib-type kick up in the air, bounces at the 20-yard line. That's a live ball. You might want to jump on it there, JP2. They finally do pick it up. Be brought down at maybe the 23 or 24-yard line. So Jalen Cambridge, dangerous return man, but limited return right there. Father Ryan not going with the booming kick, but it was an effective one overall, as they're going to have the ball in a spot looks like the 29-yard line. So 1st and 10, JP2 at their own 29-yard line. Father Ryan trails 20-17 with the Irish with the momentum on the Knights. You can see members of the secondary communicating, trying to read what being shown by this Knights offense. They're going to go 4 wide receivers on 1st and 10, 2 on either side. Brooks, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Looks to the near side, a quick throw. It's completed to 30. Nice tackle, though. Makes that for minimal yardage. Nick Krumnauer on the stop. And Jalen Cambridge on the reception for the Knights. So Cambridge gets it to the 33-yard line. 2nd and 6 for JP2. 11 minutes, 28 seconds and counting here in the fourth quarter. JP2 leads 20-17. And they're going to spread it out once again with 3 wide receivers. Odd formation with the slot man, almost as deep as the quarterback out of the shotgun. That's going to go to that slot man, be complete at the 35, tackled at the 40-yard line. So finally stopped by Sage Warren. But a first down right there, C.J. Laws. So that will move the chains. 1st and 10, Knights at their own 40-yard line. They lead Father Ryan 20-17. 11 minutes and counting to go here in the fourth quarter. A 3 wide receiver set with 2 on the near side. Once again, that very deep
And that was
slot
a similar
man.
situation.
Yeah, they're not shy about putting Laws back there deep. Brooks, the quarterback, fakes the handoff. Finally, he's going to keep it himself like a busted play. He's going to go nowhere fast and be thrown to the ground. A 3, maybe 4-yard loss.
Number 22, Jackson Bird brings Ben Brooks down in the backfield.
And so it was
a great stop there by Jackson Bird.
Going to say it was Bird on the stop. I couldn't quite see the number until he popped up.
7-yard line, a loss.
He's played a great game on both sides of the ball for the Irish. Second and
Definitely.
14. 10 minutes, 14 seconds and counting. JP2 leads Father Ryan by the score of 20-17. The Irish have scored 14 points here in the second half to 0 for the Knights. They'd sure like to stop him here. A second and long at the JP2 37. A shotgun snap's going to be handed off. Not much there at all. Jamal Thompson given the ball. He's been a tough running back when he's been able to get some space, but not much room there. It's Father Ryan's defense manages to swallow him up without too much damage. So they're going to spot the ball at the 30 or the 40-yard line. So 3rd and 10. JP2 from their own 40-yard line. 9 minutes, 30 seconds and counting to go. JP2 leads Father Ryan 20-17. Suffice it to say, this is a big play for both teams here. So again, Brooks out of the shotgun. That he's used almost exclusively in this game. A 4-wide receiver look with trips to the near side. You got to look at the inside screen they love to run. Brooks looks to the far side, though. Gets flushed, running, chased. It's going to be a foot race. Gets to the 50. It's going to depend on the spot. It looks like he got it. So Brooks with the wheels manages to get to the other side of the 50-yard line into Father Ryan territory, and it's just enough to move the chains. So Father Ryan defensively managing to flush him out, unable to chase him down, and it's a new set of downs for the Knights. 8 minutes, 49 seconds to go in the game. Father Ryan trails by 3. Knights have the ball at midfield. And they're going to go with another 4-wide receiver look with a trips formation to the near side, and Brooks in the shotgun. Brooks fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. Irish were keeping their eyes on him that time, though. Maybe a 2-yard gain, maybe 3. So they're going to spot it at the Father Ryan 47-yard line. That'll make it 2nd and 7.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
JP2 getting to the line a little quicker than they have been in the past here. Well, they also have a player subbing out the last minute. It's Chris Bell.
Cambridge running off.
Yeah, they bring in the big guy, the 6'3", number 15 receiver on the near side. In fact, it's a direct snap to Laws. And Laws has several players hit him before he finally goes to the turf. So a wildcat look right there is a direct snap to C.J. Laws. He's a dynamic, dangerous player. So I understand the Knights trying to make the most out of him, but Father Ryan defensively too fundamentally sound on that play. 7 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the game. Father Ryan trails by 3. It's 3rd and 6. JP2 would have to get to the Father Ryan 39-yard line to get a first down. They got 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Brooks, and he directs him over to the near side. Backing up, this could be a screen type play, and they blew it up. It was a completed pass, but Father Ryan defensively was right there. The Irish have the ball, but the whistle had already blown.
That was a great break up there by Jackson Bird.
And this is where
Causing the quarterback to stumble and fall back.
And that might have thrown up the timing just a little bit. The idea with that type of a play is that you catch the defense rushing in, you throw it over them, kind of like what Father Ryan did successfully with Quimby earlier in the game. Not so successful that time for the Knights, and they set up for what will presumptively be a punting situation on 4th and 7. 6 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the game. JP2 leads Father Ryan 20-17, but the Irish have the momentum, and they're about to get the ball back. With a high snap. Irish bring the pressure, not quite enough for the block. Ball sails to the 5-yard line, bounces, takes a Father Ryan bounce into the end zone. So the Irish will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Apparently the Irish looked at some of that video from the Brentwood Academy game where the Eagles were able to do all sorts of things against that punting game of JP2. They had trouble stopping them last week. There, Father Ryan got the pressure on, not enough for the block, but it worked out pretty well for Father Ryan to have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. They trail by 3.
That's right.
6 minutes, 32 seconds to go in the game. Both teams have 2 timeouts.
This was an ideal situation there for the Irish, and Now they are looking to keep the ball moving upfield.
You don't have to entirely abandon the run at this point either, which is good, considering Father Ryan's offense has so much of a basin run in the running game. But they'll have 3 wide receivers in this play with 2 to the near side, 1 to the far. The play clock, for whatever reason, is not running. Apparently the officials are getting everything sorted out after the punt.
It looks like they're going to the official with the stopwatch on the field now.
Sideline warning against JP2.
Oh.
So a sideline warning against the Knights. The Irish had one early in this game, so another warning for either side would end in a penalty. 1st and 10 Father Ryan at their own 20-yard line. 6 minutes, 32 seconds to go. So Patrick Beacom is leaving the field for this play. Shoup looks to the sidelines. They still haven't started the play clock yet, so plenty of time for the Irish to do some mixing and matching as Nick Krumnauer comes onto the field. And the Irish prepare to huddle up, as close as they get to a huddle in this kind of a set. So down by 3, it's 1st and 10 Irish at their own 20. Man in motion. Shoup's got to keep it himself to the near side. Gets a block. Has a seam for a moment that closes. And he's brought to the ground by Zach Scott, but not before he got, it was like 8 yards on that carry.
And a good run by Jay Shoup. He has really been producing today for the Irish.
The nice thing when you have a player with Shoup's ability to run like that was a drawn-up run. You could clearly tell it wasn't, it was not a improv.
And then that just goes to show Coach Rector's coaching ability. This is just working out very well for him. Well, he knows his system and he knows the players. And
we've reached 6 minutes to go in the game. Irish down by 3, 2nd and 2. Out of the shotgun, it's going to be a handoff to Quimby. Quimby lowers his shoulders and should have enough for a 1st down. He had to get past the 30. They're going to mark it at the 31.
They give it.
And it's an Irish 1st down. Temporarily stops the clock. 5 minutes, 48 seconds to go. Now they wind the clock when the ball's spotted, and the Irish start to pick up the pace a little bit. They will huddle up. You definitely want to make sure everybody's on the same page in this scenario. And again, only down by 3, you don't have to rush things. So it'll be a shotgun set here, but a bunch look unusual for the Irish, at least from what we've seen tonight. Sage Warren, the man in motion, they're going to give it to him. But not much he could do right there. Drew Bledsoe. Yes, that's his name. Drew Bledsoe, the linebacker, right there. That's what makes him so dangerous for the Knights. He's got great vision and acceleration. So not much there for the Irish. No gain, 2nd and 10. So we approach 5 minutes to go in the game. JP2 leads 20-17. Father Ryan, 2nd and 10 from their own 31-yard line with 4 wide receivers. Shoup gets it. The designed roll to the right side. Looks for somebody to be open. Not much room. Wheat manages to get it in there.
Find.
Threads the needle for the 1st down. What a play. Nick Miller on the reception. So Miller, they're going to spot the ball at the 44-yard line. 1st down Irish.
Great job by Jay Shoup there, threading the needle to Nick Miller.
Shoup is very effective at that rollout, the designed rollout. He can do it to his left as well, which is unusual for a right-handed quarterback. He can do it to both sides of the field. Irish hurrying things up now. Trips bunch formation to the near side, 1 receiver to the far side. Out of the shotgun, it's going to be a handoff to Bird. And he gets stopped after maybe a yard. You could see him looking upfield. He had what looked like a seam, but unable to dodge the tackler there for the Knights. That'll make it 2nd and 9. Ball at the Father Ryan 45-yard line. 4 minutes, 16 seconds to go. The Irish down by 3. But they've got the momentum. They've got the ball. And they're hoping to at least get into field goal range, if not outright take the lead with a touchdown. But they have to go 55 yards if they want to do that. 2nd and 9 with 3 receivers to the near side. The shotgun. Shoup rolling to his left on this designed rollout. Tries to find someone open. He's going to keep it himself. Get the ball to the 50 and into JP2 territory. The QB keeper, after the coverage, allowed nothing as far as a passing opportunity went. He kept it himself. And that sets up a 3rd and 3. So the Irish have the ball in Knights territory. They have to get it to the JP2 46-yard line. The Knights lead 20-17. 3 minutes, 32 seconds, and counting to go.
Big down here for the Irish.
That is for sure. JP2's fans on the other side of the field trying to make some noise. Irish 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. 8 seconds on the play clock as Shoop looks to the sidelines. He's going to have to speed things up a little bit. Seems to speak to his offensive line. He moves Quimby over. 1 second, he better snap that ball. They get it away just in time. It's a handoff to Quimby. Manages to find the seam, and enough for a first down. Well, how about that? With the play clock running down, the Irish maintain their poise. Quimby showing that veteran savvy play. Knew where he had to get. Got it past the 45-yard line down to the 44. And it's 1st and 10, Father Ryan. 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. This one may be going down to the wire. Irish down by 3. They trail by 17 in the second, or to start the second half. As they look at the 3-receiver look to the far side. So they're going to hand it off to Quimby. Quimby tries to cut it back upfield. Not a whole lot there, maybe 3 yards on the carry.
Ball spotted at the 41-yard line.
The clock is running. It is at 2:35 right now.
2nd and 7. Father Ryan has the ball at the JP2 41-yard line. Father Ryan with a field goal would tie up the game, which would lead to overtime potentially, but of course the Irish wanting more than that. 2 minutes, 20 seconds and counting. 2nd and 7 from the 41. Shoot for the shotgun. Send a man in motion. Rolling around trying to buy some time. Shoot just a odd-looking throw. It's almost like a jump pass. It fell to the ground. There's a flag down at the 31-yard line. So we'll see what the call is.
2 passes incomplete. There's a penalty marker down.
A sky pass kind of looked there by Shoop. Got a lot of air under it.
An ineligible receiver downfield.
So the penalty goes against Father Ryan for an ineligible man downfield. We see the official walk it off. It's a 5-yard penalty. They'll replay the down. So 2nd and 12 for the Irish at the JP2 46-yard line. 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go here on Father Ryan's campus. Irish have 3 receivers to the far side and Shoop in the shotgun. 7 players in the box for the Knights. And it's a handoff to Bird to the near side. Plows forward to maybe the 42-yard line. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 8 for the Irish. Less than 2 minutes to go in the game. It's crunch time now. The Irish need to get just a little bit closer if they want to get into realistic field goal range. Obviously, they want more than that. With a minute 45 and counting now. Finally, make sure they get the call correct. It'll be 3rd and 9. The ball at the JP2 43-yard line. Irish have to get it to the JP2 34-yard line. Motion to the far side. Shoop's going to keep it himself. Skip around and be brought down. And there he is again.
Not what the Irish were hoping for.
There's Bledsoe again. So a minute 18 to go. The clock is running. They finally stop it. For a Father Ryan, presume a Father Ryan timeout. So a tough situation right here for the Irish. They trail 20-17. You're looking at 4th and 13 from the JP2 47-yard line. Irish only have 1 timeout left. Now they've used their 2nd one here. So Father Ryan taking advantage of this timeout situation to talk things over. Obviously need to stop the clock there. Irish have not had many long plays in this game. They've been rather steady with their drives. But they've got to make it to the 34-yard line of JP2 to get a new set of downs. A penalty, of course, would also give them that as well, but can't count on that. Certainly not in this situation. So again, Father Ryan trailed by 17 points at the half. It was 20-3. But they managed to get a pair of touchdowns here in this second half, including one that started this 4th quarter.
And an absolutely critical situation coming up here for the Irish.
So the ball spotted at midfield. It'll be Irish needing to make it to that 34-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far, and Shoop out of the shotgun. Looking, throws downfield, caught! Caught, first down, Sage Warren. Warren to the 25, scrambles over towards the sideline to the 20, and he'll go out of bounds to the 16-yard line. Sage Warren, first down, Irish. Talk about clutch. Talk about having faith in your offense and your quarterback. Shoup has played so well tonight. And it's a first down for the Irish at the 17-yard line.
What a play.
1:05 remain in the game as far as the game clock goes. Wow. What a thriller. Glad you all could join us here wherever you're watching, across the country, across the world. Certainly people here in person have been treated to a thriller, particularly for Father Ryan fans here in the second half. Irish ball, 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. They still trail by 3. The officials run out to say, it appears a timeout.
On JP2.
It looks like the Knights will take a timeout here, so they'll have one remaining. The Irish with one remaining as well, but talk about that play we just saw there, Austin. I mean, that is a clutch. That's putting a lot of trust in your team.
Yes.
You know, so you're going to go out there and, you know, you make that long throw. You hope it happens.
That's right. And it just goes to show how well Jay Shoup has been playing this game. It's unbelievable.
Well, that's for sure.
He's made clutch play after clutch play, running the ball, throwing it. He's been doing it all for the Irish tonight.
And also the presence of mind by Warren to get out of bounds. He got as much yardage as he could realistically. He got pushed out at the 17 or 18. It's a little tough to tell from here. But making sure he went out of bounds, knowing Father Ryan still has one timeout remaining. So one timeout each for both teams. Father Ryan trails 20-17, 1:05 to go in the game.
With your support, we can ensure that all sports receive the funding they need.
So they talk things over in the huddle on the near side.
Our students and for you.
And now out to the far side of the field where the ball is spotted. And at the JP2 17-yard line. First down for the Irish. They'll go 3 wide receivers with 2 to the near side. Shotgun, and that's a handoff to Bird. Bird plows into the line, forward to the 13. Now less than a minute to go in the game. Irish are going to go hurry up here as Bird managed to get him some yardage down to appears they're going to say a 4-yard gain to the 14-yard line. Second down and 6, and it is running 46 seconds and counting. So Shoup with 3 receivers to the far side, rolls to his right, ball is tipped, incomplete. And it may have actually been a blessing for that ball to not have been caught because that stops the clock with 40.1 seconds to go.
And now the Irish faced again with a third down situation.
But they are in field goal range here.
That is true.
So that gives them some options as far as what they can do here. And so as the Irish look to the sidelines, the play clock with 20 seconds and counting on it on this 3rd and 6. They make a substitution, a late substitution. Mitchell Bray into the game to spell Nick Miller. Look out for Aaron Isabel on that far side by himself. 3rd and 6. Out of the bunch formation, receiver on either side, and there's a flag. It appears that would be against Father Ryan. It is. A false start for the Irish. So they'll march them back 5 yards to the 18-yard line, and that will make it a 3rd and 11 for the Irish. Father Ryan would love to get that touchdown here, obviously. They had a field goal attempt unsuccessful earlier in this half. So here we go, out of the shotgun, Shoup. He's going to hand it off to Bird. Not much room for him. He kicks it to the outside. Second effort. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Jackson Bird with a carry, brought down by number 3, Zach Scott.
And so now a timeout, I imagine, to be taken by, well, we'll see before I start guessing who called that timeout. Oh, now they wind the clock. Okay, it was just an official timeout momentarily. Well, they spotted things. I imagine Father Ryan's going to let it run down. There's a difference between about 4 seconds between the play and game clock. They may let that run down, take their final timeout, go for a field goal, and hope for overtime. About 5 seconds from now, they'll call a timeout. And there it is. So officially 6.2 seconds to go in the game. Father Ryan was trailed by 17 at the half with a chance at a field goal that would force overtime against the rival JP2 Knights. It's funny to see on the far side of the field, JP2's fans are going crazy. A little happier than I'd be if I'd blown a 17-point second half lead, although they haven't, because they still have a 3-point lead. But
that's right. You and me both.
Under the circumstances. But, you know, hey, I appreciate school spirit wherever it is. So the score right now, JP2 20, Father Ryan 17. 6.2 seconds remain. And on 4th and 13, and Father Ryan out of timeouts, this would look like a field goal situation. Be a 36-yard field goal, if my calculations are correct, depending on where they spot it.
And it does seem as though that Coach Rector will put in the field goal unit and have Anthony Hagee take the kick.
That's the only course of action that would have made sense there, considering let the clock run out before they use that final timeout. But yes, that's exactly what they're lining up here.
Correct.
So Hagee, the senior. Think about this drive where Father Ryan on 4th and long, was it 4th and 13? They had that first down conversion, trying to turn that into 3 points and bring on overtime. So here we go. They're going to have the ball. The spot marked for the holder will be the 26-yard line. Anthony Hagee for the tie. It's a fake. It's a fake. And it's a completion. Incomplete. Incomplete. So a bizarre turn of events on that final play.
Wow.
As JP2 runs on the field, the Knights celebrating a victory in stunned silence on the Father Ryan sidelines. The game is over. I was just waiting to see what would happen if there was some sort of... No, the clock reads 0-0.
Final play of the game.
Wow. So, to recap what we just saw there, what would have been a game-time field goal, I don't know if that was drawn up that way, if
I'm
it was
not sure.
accidental.
I couldn't quite see it.
It was difficult from this vantage point.
That's true.
But clearly on the play, it looked like
it was set up
Jackson
to be a
Bird,
fake.
I believe, had the ball and threw it. Now, here's where it would have been a challenge, because even if Father Ryan would have made that reception, if the clock, which it is at 0-0, if that was the case, the game's over either way.
That's right.
So, after all that, a valiant comeback effort, though, by the Irish, down by 17 at the half, get it all the way down to the field goal range for the final play of regulation. It doesn't happen for Father Ryan, and for only the 3rd time ever, the Irish lose to Pope John Paul II High School out of Hendersonville. So, your final from Nashville, JP2 20, Father Ryan 17. We'll be back with you 1 week from tonight for homecoming as Evangelical Christian out of Memphis pays a visit to the Irish. Your final score, JP2 20, Father Ryan 17. Thanks for joining us.